Hello. First things first, I want to get this angle right. So sorry, this will take a moment. Yeah, guys. Okay. Well, there we go. Maybe we'll bother with this. This. No, that ain't gonna work. But you actually just fit in the hole. You. Excellent. All right, is this gonna be better? This is probably gonna be better. Cool. Okay. Hey, no. Okay, cool. Hi, people. Hello over there. So wanted to show you what I've been up to, but also do the same videos that I've been doing. So kind of combining a thing. I saw this Jackson Pollock piece where he was quoted as saying his work is all about the paint, moving with the painter. And I feel like that's really a good description of what I've been up to now. Coming up in a couple of days, I have an art show and psychic show. So we're gonna combine both of these things in today's video. For those of you watching in Nomadland, I'm also going live on Facebook right now, but on Facebook they can just see the painting. So if you want to see the painting, you have to go on here, and if you want to see me move with the painting, but you're also more interested in the astro stuff, you can totally watch on this channel, on Nomad on YouTube. So what are we talking about today? So we have a lot of planets in retrograde, and some of you have seen this really stupid meme about open the lion's gate, all these planets in retrograde and stuff. Speaking of retrograde, see, we get ahead of ourselves. I wanted to mention a little bit of what I'm doing here. So I've been doing paintings more and more, and I've come up with this, I haven't come up with it. So acrylic pouring is like a big thing right now, but I'm really obsessed with what kind of things you mix in, and like the working class, and what is changing our chemicals and things. But also, I need to do something that represents me. So as you can see, my name is all over this, haha, figuratively, but also literally. I'm going to kind of fill it in. This comes from this kind of experiment, which is just drying, and I think is very cool. For those of you over here, ta-da! Okay, so part of this retrograde cycle is about figuring out your identity and what it is that represents you. So the sun is in Leo, sun fin in Leo. I'm a Leo in the sun. We appreciate this sort of thing. The Leo being in the sun. However, Mercury is also in Leo, and it is retrograde. And everybody's like, oh my God, Mercury in retrograde, this is terrible. Whatever shall we do? Oh no. But guys, it's really not like that, okay? Retrograde is about a lot of things. Sometimes we benefit from them. For instance, we found a lot out about ourselves while Jupiter was retrograde in Scorpio, right? Like, what are your priorities? What matters to you? And also, though, we've had a lot of tricks played on us based in these really bizarre circles of like sex, death, birth, and rebirth. And I, too, have come from very kind of scary issues to find myself here. And as you can see, while I'm painting, I'm pretty relaxed. And part of this is because, for example, last night, I found a bunch of people from my past and like just showed up in Cleveland after a show in Kent. Hello, Anthony, you were wonderful. But so did this show in Kent, and then ran into or just messaged some wonderful people that I was in town, and they opened their doors to me because they love me and I love them, and I appreciate them for who they are and their creativity, and they're doing really beautiful things, and these people that I have very always loved since the moment I met them are impressing me in ways that I had not expected before. And it has to do with maturity, but it's also going back to skills that you already have. What are skills that you already have? What are things that make you feel good? And so here I am painting away at my little doodle place, and I like this a lot. And I'm actually able to do something with it. See, I have some really supportive people that I've been working with for years and years and years. And years even. This is the 4th year in a row that I have been fortune telling for Sparkle Dragon's Magical Emporium. And if you want to talk about supportive, my God, Joyce at Sparkle Dragon's Magical Emporium is a wonderful, beautiful human being. She takes care of people who cannot take care of themselves. She is full of love and also some piss and vinegar. So if you need to go bitch, go find Joyce. And so this coming Saturday, I will be making another appearance there where I will be doing live readings, and also I will be doing live paintings because of this Jackson Pollock thing about how it's about moving with the paint, and what shape the paint takes has a lot to do with the body of the person. And so I think it would be really cool to do live painting readings of people in that moment. And so if you are interested in that, there will also be things like drink tickets for you alcoholics out there. We will be selling those. We will be selling these here paintings. But also, if you want to talk about private readings, give me a call. Here's the thing that also goes with all of these retrogrades. I just got a job today because I was in a grocery store and I was wearing my fancy pants. My fancy pants have sugar skulls all over them, and they're rainbow. And I was also wearing my Mr. Rogers shirt that's rainbow and says good vibes all over it. And this guy hired me as a fortune teller. Hooray! All because I used to work as a fortune teller elsewhere. And I was wearing the fancy pants from the other place that I used to work. So what is it about your past that still matters to you right now? What is important for everybody to know? Well, son of a bitch, here is where it gets tricky, because a lot of you don't want anybody to know what's happening. Ha ha ha. Or especially, you didn't want them to know what was happening at the time. Is it because of your own embarrassment, or is it because of theirs? And now I've run out of this psychedelic color. We're going to move on to this psychedelic color. Right. So there are a lot of planets in retrograde. One of those lot of planets in retrograde is Mars. Mars is retrograde in Aquarius. This is exactly opposite the retrograde in Mercury and Leo. So there's a lot of opposites to be at a distance with each other, right? There's no real good way to, there's a lot of people from the past coming back right now. True facts. How do you discern which are the good people and which are the holy shit, stay away from me, you crazy fuck. Well, are you still playing with the crazy fuck? Or have you moved on? What is your goal? Do you want it to end? Or do you want to provoke someone? And if you want to provoke somebody, fine, just be honest about it, right? I don't feel like that's asking too much. But then let's talk about provoking. Like, Aquarius is the sign of the people, okay? And all of your Aquarius friends are like the first people to be in a protest. They're the first ones to get arrested. They're your friends that like videotape their own arrests on Facebook. Like, and we need you. I get it. Like, my Aquarius stepmother was the first one to really start asking questions about where am I? Where do I live? Which, is one of those things that I don't necessarily need other people knowing right now. Retrogrades. Right. But so there's a lot of things that we can be grateful for from an Aquarius. Because, like, we need a protest. We need people to stand outside and yell about things. Because, like, some of us don't have the time to do it. And who's gonna yell for little people? And I get, like, we can't be quiet anymore, right? We all agree. There's no rest for the wicked here. And also, like, if we don't have the extremities, the people who are really just trying to make it are not going to be hurt at all, right? So if we go in agreeing to that, we have to allow for Aquarius to be a little not always socially acceptable at the socially acceptable time, right? And if that's the case, then we have to allow for Mars to agree. Like, at this point, Mars agrees that there is no socially acceptable time to put up with everybody's bullshit. Okay? Mars in Aquarius is like, yo, I got your back. I'm going to talk about these things that no one's talked about for about 16 months now, and it's about goddamn time. And some of you are speaking out, and some of that's great. That has a lot to do with the Sun in Leo and the Mercury retrograde, also in Leo. Because, like, you're shining this light on people who really, truly do need to be heard. And no one's listening to them. And no one did listen to them. But also, does that mean it's time for you to have to speak out about something that you thought would be brushed under the rug? Well, maybe. But maybe this also has to do with, like, maybe it's really time this time to speak out about how you were mistreated and why that shouldn't happen to anybody else. And I mean, like, a lot of people didn't listen to you. I understand. So why should you help them now, right? I've seen The Watchmen. But that isn't now, right? Now is a different time. Look for the helpers. What are we about to find out about the entire world? Some people are not as innocent as they appear. We also know that. No one is. But also, no one is alone. That there is your Libra Venus, which just got there. It's only in like 2 degrees right now. And so that Libra Venus is like, yeah, dude, whatever you want to do, I'm down. Just, you need me to play music, you need me to, whatever you need me to do, I'm just going to be here to love you, if that's all right. And if that's not all right, well, we'll fucking figure it out, man. There's a lot of support in the universe right now. Oh, that came out cool. Did y'all see that? I think I'm going to do more of those. So there's a lot of support out in the universe for you right now if you're just willing to take the steps to do it. And that's great. There's a lot of support from people that you didn't expect. There's a lot of support from people who you thought weren't actually as close as they might actually be. And that they've been rooting for you and they care for you. And, you know, they're very excited for your accomplishments when you win something. And they know when you're probably lying about if you like a thing or not, right? So, what else is in retrograde? The other four, so we got Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all in retrograde. But like, this just means that it's closer than it was, right? It's an optical illusion. What we're seeing is also what we're feeling, right? So a lot of us are dealing in a housing crisis right now, and it is dealing a lot with our jobs and our security and what's going to happen next. I get it. I really, truly do. But also look for the helpers. There are a lot of people out to support you right now. Figure out who they are, because they really do. They truly love you. Also, they probably have a lot of ideas that you did not see coming. I had one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Readdressed with this Mars and Aquarius, and really looked at for like the humane side of it, if there was a humane side of it. And oftentimes there wasn't, you know? But what does that even mean? Like, now we're just pushing it. But why do people do what they do? Why do they hide what they do? This is our Jupiter in Scorpio. So Jupiter in Scorpio going direct, it's a different code, right? People have different codes for how they live. And it's kind of like when someone forgets their safe word. You know, if you don't respect it, it's a lot of bullshit. Kids at home, if you don't know what that means, go ask your parents if you're allowed to know what that means yet. But why didn't you say what you had to say before? Why is it all coming up now? Well, you weren't needed until now. Does that give you a right to punish people who do need you now? Well, probably not. But also, can you blame them for trying? Probably not. Like I said, we can't forget that literally no one is alone here. Everybody has a part to play. Everybody has someone that they lean on all the time. And let's also agree that those people are complicit in whatever work is done, right? You didn't ask for this. It's just what you have to deal with now. And that's fair, right? Nomad people, you might have to look at my butt for just a second. No, I think you can see me fine. But like, so what is it that's even left to say? You know, you've been dealing with this for so long. But this is the part that I was talking about before, about wait for the grieving to be done for justice to be served. Guess what, kids? Time's a coming. Time is for justice. And what do we do now? What do we do in justice? Well, what is the justice card? Let's, that's a good example for now. Justice is blind. It doesn't care who you are or where you come from. It cares about what you did. And some people are going to have to own up to some shit. Everybody's going to have to own up to some shit. That's not just like a thing for sometimes. It's a thing for all the time. But so what does that mean to own up to shit? Well, Saturn in Capricorn, also in retrograde. If you're not working, what are you doing? And the thing is, Mars and Aquarius is going to come in and be like, well, what do you mean that I have to work? That doesn't seem fair. I deserve to have all of my living arrangements accounted for and for people to care at all. I am entitled to that as a human being, right? And I can't disagree with you, certainly. But then what is it that will make you satisfied? Like, what are you proud of? What do you need? And how do we help you? But it's also, you have to respect people's privacy right now. Uranus and Taurus, they don't know what the fuck is happening. Nobody is where they're supposed to be. Nobody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Nobody's innocent. And nobody's been innocent. But, like, by what code of morals are you dealing with here? And that is a thing for you to figure out. I'm not here to judge you on it. But what are your priorities? If you did something like, forget that safe word, or like, I don't know, just undisciplined. Like, I'm not even gonna call it abuse, but you have to know where people are coming from. And if you took any advantage, this is the time to own up for it. I think that you can be forgiven in a lot of respects. But also, how you go about getting that forgiveness has a lot to do with whether or not those people will forgive you. If you go in with, I am most righteous, well, you're not going to get anywhere. If you go in with, this is what I meant the whole time, maybe we'll see a different perspective. And a lot of this is about seeing a different perspective. There are going to be a lot of things that it feels like you might have missed the first time around. And that's a lot of what the retrograde is also for. So, do we want to do a dailies? We can do a dailies. Here are your sun sign horoscopes because you ask for them all the time. Even though it's kind of cheating, and I've said this before, but it's kind of cheating because sunshine isn't the only thing. So consider these like also how it would affect your moon and your Jupiter and whatnot. Um, if you're into that sort of thing. Aries, hey man, how long has it been? Possibly too long. How? All right, I get it. You can't tell someone how to die, but also you can't be pissed off when they tell you that they're dying. Okay, Aries. We've been over the thing about how sometimes you can be too honest, but also I think that you are going to get very along with a Libra who will soon be in your vicinity, who is also like, try to fight it. All right, there's a lot of passion, and you need that lot of passion. There's a lot going on. Okay, Taurus. I get it. A bunch of shit is still way, way, way up in the air for you. And maybe you're not sure if this is like the life that you were hoping to find, right? Tell me like I don't understand. But also, this is the life you're in right now. So, what are you going to do with like the body that you have? What are you going to do with the time that you have? Because you didn't necessarily have this time before, right? Even if you have to stay still, which is miserable for you, I get it. Go be fat and happy and enjoy yourself. Gemini, stop trying to be a creep. That's real frustrating when you do that shit. And I know that you don't come from a place where like at least have a good reason for your creeping, okay? Like, here's where your justice comes in. Understand that people need to live the life that they need to live. And sometimes people will understand you. Give people a shot. Actually, like, Gemini, we've been over this. God of liars, tricksters, and thieves. This is where you can kind of give some really good spin to someone, say, like a Scorpio, or someone that seems to be very in your business, that doesn't seem like they really have to be all up in your business. Gemini, this is like a lot of time for you to kind of break out and tell your side of the story. There's a lot to make up for in this. And maybe it wasn't all your fault. Maybe you were gaslit. Maybe, like, just because you're a bitch doesn't mean bad things can't happen to you, right? Like, why did bad things happen to good people? Well, a Gemini won't even tell you that they're good people, but what they will say is they work, they do things, they get shit done, they say things that nobody else was willing to say, and good for them. So this is for you. What else do you have to say? I'm sure it's real important. But also make sure you say it to the right people. The right people may not even necessarily be the people that you want to say it to. It may be, you know how in Harry Potter he talked to the press? Like he went to the underground paper that Luna's dad worked for? Anybody? No? That's okay. I don't blame you. But that's the sort of opportunity that's going to be open for you now, right, Gemini? Is like, tell people who aren't as close, who won't be as devious, who don't have a dog in the fight, why you're upset. Maybe it will make more sense to someone who has no reason to doubt you, right? And also, you know, you've been in a lot of toxic situations. A lot lately. Like, a lot. Like, we're not even over exaggerating. A lot of really toxic situations. Now you're out of them. Talk to people who are no longer also in toxic situations. They might have really pertinent information for you. What if you weren't alone either, Gemini? All of your personalities were just together with other people. Wouldn't that be neat? Let's try that out. Let's see. So Cancer, what's even the agenda right now? So we've got the moon in Cancer right now. So there's a lot of like emotion. There's a lot of like really hard work, but there's a lot of not getting recognized for it still. Speak up. Say something, do something. You're the only one that can. You're the only one that will. Do it. Say what needs to be said. It won't affect you as hard as you think that it will. Let's see. It will affect you, don't get me wrong, but Uranus is in Taurus. You weren't expecting to be there anyway. It's time to move. Go get your shit done. You, like, move on. Keep moving. Keep your head down. You're a badass. You have a shell. None of us have a shell. Come on. Leo. All right, look, you're being real loud right now. And you have a legitimate lot to say. But there are a lot of things that, like, you didn't even really want to address right now. You had some other shit to do. There's a lot of press that's getting all up in your business. I truly do understand. But here's the deal. Mercury in Leo, Mars opposite Aquarius. Like, say what you need to say. You too. What's gonna change anything? Right? Virgo. I saw you. Your emotions are poking through, but they're coming out real soon. You actually have the ability to keep your mouth shut right now because you're very analytical with that Mars in Aquarius. You're kind of pros over there, which is super cool, and I recommend it. But, like, what's organization is going to be so important to you. This is a very down time for you. This is a very internal time for you. And organizing what it is that you have to say is going to blow some people away. They're not expecting you to come out like this. But it's valid. Everything that you have to say is valid. Don't forget that. Okay? Libra, you're just love right now. I see you. You're very cute. And you just want everybody to get along. And you just like, oh, this is what you need today? Let me give it to you. Don't forget to look for yourself. And if you're not looking for yourself, who is? Okay? Well, that's probably a fair amount of people. I'm going to bet that there's Pisces in your life that is very kind. Libra, Scorpio. Dude, what's it going to take for you to, like, I don't know, be comfortable with yourself? This is the thing with your Uranus and Taurus right now, that, yeah, your whole world's shook up, but it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has to do with you. Figure your life out. Figure your life out, not like other people's lives. That's not what you need to be doing right now, okay? Scorpio, Sagittarius, you're on vacation, man. You don't care. And that's good. Like, what? Priorities are priorities are priorities. And that is truly what you are focused on right now. And that is super great. And I'm very happy for you. Everybody should follow a Sagittarian example. Sagittarius, Capricorn. Okay, so let's address you. We've been talking about the ebb and flow of everything that's been happening lately. And what is ebb and flow? Well, like, this is necessary. Okay? This part of the story has to be here for you to move forward. And like, I know that you are hoping for things to work out, but this is not what you want, right? Like, what you need to be doing is using this time to get ready, because it is coming for you, okay? Let's see. Capricorn, Aquarius, yes, we need you to yell a lot. Go yell a lot. Go stand up for the little people who can't stand up for themselves. But we know you're going to take credit where credit is due, and I get it that it is due. Fine. But also, like, way to be on the side of logic, way to not be a total douche canoe. Work a little harder at it. Work a little harder at not being a douche canoe. I feel like everybody would benefit. Like, I'm going to use my stepmother as an example again. She brought her dog to a restaurant. That dog barked at a waitress. It didn't like the waitress. Why didn't the waitress know to stay away from the dog? Well, but you brought the dog into the restaurant. Whose fault is it? Right. Okay. Now we're on the same page, Aquarius. Pisces. You're real quiet. We get worried when the Pisces are too quiet. That usually means that they're up to some shit. I'm not saying there's like a good Pisces and a bad Pisces. I would never say that. I'm saying that, like, sometimes you feel a little shunned, and then all hell breaks loose. So what can you do here to help yourself? And like, we're not saying that you are not currently helping yourself. What we are saying is there a more practical means to do so? What are the practical means that you need to do so, right? Pisces, Aries. We started with Aries, so we're back to the beginning. So those are all your suns, and I think that I'm just about done with this piece here. So how's that for a simultaneous cast? Woo, party. All right, gonna shut everything off, and we'll see how this dries tomorrow.